fought through that, and that, even with his time with Reverend Jackson, he didn't necessarily always get the most prominent position or be in the most prominent place, but he fought through that. And I remember those words that he shared with me. I remember that time that he shared with me, and I never will forget it. And that means that we have a great responsibility going forward, and not just to sing and shout, not just to march and protest, but to construct. We have to reconstruct the reconstructed. We have to construct a new future. And he did that with the Rainbow Push Coalition. And he did that with the work and the effort that he had put in all over this country, sometimes to ad nauseum. And I think we all would have to admit, and I can certainly admit, every time I saw him, I'm like, dang, he helped again. And I think to some degree, that is a sign of commitment. That's a sign of ethics.
The Talk of Chicago is 1690 WVON, Sherwin, Chicago.
Chicago. Juliana Stratton isn't being honest about who she is. Fact. Juliana Stratton was the hand-picked candidate of the corrupt Madigan machine, the same machine that spent millions to put her in office. And Stratton repaid the favor, defending Mike Madigan even after his bribery scheme was exposed. Fact. Stratton's massive super PAC is funded by the very contractor running the Broadview ICE Detention Center. Think about it. ICE raids Chicago. Stratton benefits from ICE contractor cash. Fact. Juliana Stratton got caught lying about refusing money from MAGA donors. That's right. Stratton's campaign is bankrolled by MAGA Republicans. Madigan machine, ICE contractor cash, MAGA money. Add those facts up and it's clear. Saying one thing, doing another. That's Juliana Stratton. Paid for by Fair Shake and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Fair Shake is responsible for the content of this advertising. www.fairShakePAC.com.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray.
Congressman Jonathan Jackson on the line.
I saw a meme that said America will come and get you. When it's about the oil, they bombed in Iran, they've got oil. They bombed in Iraq, they've got oil. They bombed in Libya, they've got oil. And now they bombed in Venezuela, they've got oil. And they even came after Diddy because he had oil.
Come on, Congressman.
That was a great setup.
That was good. That was good.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-729-7070. That's 1-800-729-7070. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-729-7070. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
It's Tio Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
They call him Mr. Ceasefire. They call him Mr. Ceasefire. Stopping shootings and killings almost every day. Trying to make a better way. They call him Mr. Ceasefire. Ceasefire. Mr. Ceasefire. He's a man on a mission with a plan.
Okay, good morning, Chicagoland. Tio Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman here live in the WVON studio. I want to thank God for waking me up this morning to host this particular show. And this year, believe it or not, April of this year, we're going on 6 years, man. I can't believe it. 6 years on the radio, man.
Wow.
It's been a magnificent ride, I must admit, because we have a pretty good following here every Sunday morning, talking about some of the hot topics in the world. And I want to send another shout out to Jesse Jackson Sr., the Jackson family, Father Flake, all the good people here in the city of Chicago that's doing the best they can do. And Jesse, I did attend his, he had 4 or 5 different funerals, but I attended 2 of them, and I'm grateful to pay my respect to Jesse because he was okay with me. He was real cool with me. I have no complaints about my, the relationship as far as working in the community, marching, protesting, doing whatever we could do. Now, a lot of people kind of sleep on Jesse Jackson Sr. because he's a world icon, just like Muhammad Ali was a world icon. Jesse did a whole lot of good work throughout the internationally, he's going to be missed on a higher level. He will definitely be missed, so that's my thing. So I want to salute Santita Jackson, Jonathan Jackson, and Jesse Jr., and Yusef Jackson, the entire Jackson family. All right, I just want to say that. And then this morning, before I get started all the way, once again, my book, Death of an Addict, Resurrection of a Man, it's on Amazon. You go to Amazon and get a copy of my book, Death of an Addict, Resurrection of a Man. And the good thing, God has been good to me. I have my second book that's out now too, Interrupting Gun Violence, the Public Health Approach. This is my second edition of that particular book. So check out your main man, Tio Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman. All righty. And so before I get started, I just want to say it's been a roller coaster ride week. We're doing a lot of good work out here. I want to salute the violence interrupters that work on the west and south side of Chicago, doing all they can do to help young people along the way become productive members of society. Chicago, we still have, levels, I'm not going to say high levels, but we still have a lot of gun violence going on. Two individuals just got shot on the Red Line on 79th Street. But today we're going to take on a topic of HIV and AIDS awareness, a real serious topic. And I want to get into that topic just in a minute here, right? But as always, I try to just hit a little something here or there, just have a little fun. But this is a song here, really, I'm not going to sing the entire song this morning. I'm just playing around. It's called a strategy, right? This guy was trying to get close to this lady, and he said it's up to him to come up with a strategy, right? It's up to me to come up with a strategy to make you mine. To make you mine. Why you want to make me sweat? Running around playing hard to get all the time. That's Brother Archie Bill in the Trills. I'm just messing around. That was really before my time. I like what he was talking about. He said he got a Jones for the lady, right? See, I got a Jones for you, man. The man had to come up with a strategy. I think he won her over also. He's out of Washington, D.C., and I can remember I was in D.C. on some business many years ago. I saw a real fine sister walking down the street. I have to tell this story. It's crazy. When I was on the phone on a business call, and she had on a lady in red. She had on a red outfit, right? And she was walking. She got down almost a mile and a half down, and I still chased her all the way down the street and tried to catch up with her. When I got up to her, she said, I'm married. Ain't nothing happening. That's what she said to me. So I just want to put that out there. Let's have some fun this morning. I want y'all to call in. But before we get to that, I have a special guest. And I'll allow my guest to introduce herself this morning because I want to get it right and introduce your organization as well so we can take care of the business with you this morning, okay?
Of course. I'm Kimberly Lachelle Morgan, but I go by Kimberly Lachelle. I am the founder and chief executive officer of ARG, HIV AIDS Awareness Group. Right. And ARG stands for Andrew Rynell Gerard, which is my youngest son that contracted it in 2010. And that's what prompted me to start this program.
Start your program. Okay, we're going to get into that in a minute here because I know and everybody knows that, wow, let me see how I can put this here. It's a tough subject, really. It's tough because let me say, I'm going to tell you why I say it's kind of tough because I know you got some numbers to back up what you're talking about. Now, I'm talking about when HIV first came out. I'm just going back in the day a little bit.
The Ryan White story.
What happened is a lot of times some people, including myself, we were real, what you might say, we thought illiterate about it. We didn't have all the education about it. And the virus, we're talking about the virus now. We thought the virus was hitting a certain population. Not everybody. But a
Yeah.
lot of people that use drugs that would shoot needles in their arms, they end up contracting the virus as well. And so it wasn't really like contained to a certain population. Now, sometime late last year, the year before last, monkeypox came out, and everybody thought that was limited or contained to a certain population of people. I'm not going to get into all that kind of stuff, but the reality of it is sexually transmitted diseases
Exactly.
are running rampant.
That's my main focus.
Across the United States.
Exactly.
Cities, counties like Cook County, Decatur
Will
County. I'm talking about all the way in Georgia too. In Georgia, right?
But a lot of people think that because Georgia, quote unquote, appears to have the highest rate of the LGBTQIA communities, that is not. Philadelphia is number 10, but New York City has the highest AIDS rate.
So New York City,
New York is number 1
for the AIDS.
As a statistic from 2025, as now, New York is number 1.
Well, educate my people for a minute. I just want you to educate the people. So what happens is that, first of all, explain or define, because you just said the LGBTLQ. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to get it. I don't know.
It's LGBTQIA. L is lesbian.
Okay.
G is gay.
Gotcha.
B is bisexual.
All right.
LGBTQ. Q is queer.
Got it.
T is transgender.
Okay.
And LG. Sorry,
you're doing good to keep up with it, right? Because I don't know.
Q. I and the I and the A I have to look up.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that, guys.
Don't worry, but I respect.
It's a lot of new stuff. I just know LGBTQ.
Yeah, that's good enough. Now I respect everybody. No issues here. I had to give respect. Where it's due, because a lot of I'll be the first to say this, and I just go on the record and say it. There was a time, now just being honest, the way I come up, we had I'm not gonna say we had issues, but we never really wanted to fraternize or socialize with the LGBT population, I would say, right? Or the people. But as you mature more in life and you begin to accept people for who they are, you cannot become homophobic and all that kind of stuff. I may not agree with stuff. That doesn't mean I'm against you, right? Because I think that people from the LGBT community, and I'm not an expert at talking about this at all, but I want to say, I think sometimes they get a bad rap. Okay. Now, on a more serious note, in some African countries, and definitely some of the Middle Eastern countries, being a member of the LGBT community, that's like a death sentence in some of them countries. It really is. They're putting people. I don't know if they've executed anybody, but I know in Uganda at one time they were talking about executing people, life in prison. In Ghana, they're banning it, and Burkina Faso, they're not putting up with it at all. So I know the world has a long way to go, but everybody's entitled to their own point of view, right? So I don't want to get too stuck on that. Because when you mention them, that's the only reason I brought it up, right? So let's do this. What happens? How does one contract HIV? The virus. How does one contract that?
HIV is contracted through sex, bodily fluids, intravenous drug use, and it attacks the CD4 in the body.
So what is CD4?
That's the blood cells.
Okay, I just want to know because I'm not a doctor. You might be a doctor, I'm not a doctor. So I'm gonna take some calls in a minute. So let's do this here. Which is Cook County? The number of cases on the rise in Cook County?
There is, as of the based on the CDC numbers in 2025 updated, there's 19,607 cases in Cook County.
Cook County of HIV.
Yeah, HIV, not AIDS.
I got you. Then I understand HIV can turn into AIDS.
HIV is the virus that causes AIDS,
right?
But you can live with HIV. It's not a death sentence anymore because they have a drug. You can do PrEP. Right. Well, PrEP is preventative, but you can take Biktarvy now, which is 1 pill as opposed to 17 when it first came out. Okay,
cool. That's good to know because people are living a long life.
Yeah, my son is living a very long life.
But let me ask you something. How did you feel then when your son? What happened? Did he come to you and tell you that
he did not?
You found out through another source?
No, my children are very close to each other.
Okay.
And his oldest sister was at the hospital with him, and I love my daughter to this day.
That's right.
Respecting her brother's privacy.
Yes.
So she was in there with my son in 2010. We were all in Atlanta.
Talking to Mike a little bit for me.
We were all in Atlanta, and I said, Lisa, she said, Mother, you can go in there, but I'm gonna let Andy tell you what's going on.
Okay.
And my son told me, so we're real close.
Straight.
And from that point on, my son became my priority. His health and his well-being became
much
my
respect.
priority.
No, it should.
It did.
Because the thing about it, I don't know much about it. You know, I had a sister that passed away many years ago from meningitis, right? Meningitis, based on some complications with her, you know, contracting, the virus as well. And I won't mention her name, but I had a sister that passed away during that era. I'm talking about in the beginning of it. And it was really sad. Not just that, there were a lot of countless entertainers, early on, that end up contracting the virus, HIV, and then it turned into full-blown AIDS at one time or another. So I take it real serious because we only have one life to live. And we have to be careful when it comes down to when we sharing bodily fluids. We have to be careful when it comes down, no one can just jump. I wouldn't recommend nobody just jump in the bed with somebody just like that, because what happened is some guys and some women may think they really stand on something because the guy want to get down with them the first day they meet them, right? Or vice versa. If a woman or a man get down with you on the first day, and when I mean get down, my people, you know what I'm talking about, that means they've done it before. And it becomes more loose that way. And there was a case of a guy in Atlanta that actually passed the virus on to over 100 women. 100 women. This guy he contracted the HIV virus. I guess he just got pissed off at life, and he actually transferred that virus to over 100 women, right? So which county or which city across the nation has more of a number of HIV cases, Michelle?
The highest neighborhoods.
Yeah, what's the highest neighborhood?
In Chicago, Illinois, believe it or not, is South Shore.
The South Shore community has a high level?
At the high level.
Okay. And what about outside of Chicago? Let's look at Georgia, Atlanta. I know I was reading some information.
Atlanta is number 7.
Oh, number 7?
Opposed to we're number 8.
Chicago's number 8. Illinois, rather.
Yep. No, New York is number 1.
New York, number 1.
Philadelphia is 10. But we are
number 8.
Not the highest. And nowhere is Atlanta.
Oh, really? Because I thought Atlanta was pretty high.
New York, it has the highest.
Houston got some cases too.
Houston got cases.
Yeah, they got cases for sure.
But New York, as opposed to the CDC and the 2025.
Okay.
roster.
Yeah, it's tough. It's
Statistics,
tough.
yeah.
But people like Magic Johnson, he's been living with it for many decades now because of medicine and all that kind of stuff. I wish a lot of the medicine was out many years ago.
It's been out. It just wasn't available to certain people.
Oh, so now it's readily available now.
Yeah. Well, when it first came out, they used to call it a cocktail.
Okay.
It was 17
I remember
pills.
people saying that.
It was
cocktail.
17 pills.
Yeah.
My son was diagnosed in 2010.
Got it.
And then in 2012.
Get you in the microphone for me.
In 2012,
yeah,
he got really sick. And at the time, the only place they had was the Round White program because he was living in Atlanta and it was really full. And I went to a couple of places in Florida and they did not have, they were all full to capacity. And at the time, that was the pill that they were offering was the cocktail, which was 17. And a lot of state programs didn't have the funding or didn't have all of the medicine. One place did have it in Florida. So my son's immune system started deteriorating. And as a mother, that was the most fearful moment of my life. So I researched, I went online on Google and I Googled places to prevention and help and assistance. I really couldn't find any. It was amazing. It was just freaking me out. Like it was nothing on Google.
Nothing.
So like I'm nervous. And I gotta stay strong for my son. So my son stood up to me and said, and I get emotional because my baby stood up and he said he had psoriasis, so his skin was peeling. And that's why I'm so educated in this now, because I didn't know.
Right.
And my son said, Mother, he said, I don't want to die.
Take your time, man. That's why I want you to come on and talk about the seriousness nature of this here. Yeah, but God has blessed you. You hear me? He's blessed you because your son, he's
my baby 38 years old.
He's 38 years old.
But he said, well, I'm not ready to die. So as a mother, I had to do what I had to do. So I kept looking and researching.
Yes.
And I need to reach out to this place for real. I found a place called Hug Me in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
And when I tell you that little non-for-profit place, I got my son on a train. I had never in my life been to Orlando, Florida. Me and my baby traveled to Orlando, Florida. I slept right outside on the bench.
Yeah.
And I stayed there as much as I could until they took him in and
Right
did
on.
what, and you know, they immediately admitted my son.
Okay.
And that place saved my son's life.
Saved
And
his life.
that's why I started my non-for-profit program.
Right. No, I love that testimonial
Yeah,
because
sorry about that.
you ain't did nothing wrong. You know, hey, the God gave people tears. That's why you have tears to cry sometimes. Let me get my first call on, okay? Cat Daddy, good morning to you.
Good morning. Happy Sunday and happy daylight savings time.
For sure. Yeah, that kind of caught me off guard with daylight savings time this morning.
Yeah.
We here.
Yeah, extra hour. So several things I wanted to cover in addition to today's subject. I think people need to focus on the fact that AIDS and HIV is no longer a gender fluid. That's the one I use instead of trying to remember the alphabet. LGBTQ, and I think there's a plus with that. You can contract it without having same sex, either through blood transfusions, which I think they're more
transfusion, and then a lot of people that used to inject drugs in their arms, they were catching it many years ago.
Yeah, as well as people having heterosexual sex, for lack of a better word, with people who might be on the down low.
So, Cat Daddy, help me understand what you're saying here this morning. So you're saying people that have heterosexual sexual relationships, they can transfer the virus as well. That's what you're saying?
Right. Who've been on the down low, that is, who've had same sex. Sex.
Okay, so people that's on the down low. I remember years ago, there's a movie called The Down Low came out, right?
Yeah.
I think Oprah Winfrey had produced the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Cat Daddy. What else you got there, bro?
Yeah. So as you probably know, Tio, I filed a complaint with the public access counselor for the Illinois Attorney General's office.
Okay.
As far as this local reparations task force.
Okay.
Because the mayor and his staff are doubling down on not having open meetings for the task force, while the state task force, which has just released its report, has been completely transparent and has had open meetings since its creation in 2022, I believe. So we're saying that the state set a precedent and that the local task force needs to follow that. I talked with Marvin Slaughter, who's open to appearing on your show.
Okay.
Who's head of the state reparations task.
Yeah, I'm familiar with him. Yes.
Right. And he said on Facebook that he had tried to advise the local task force, but he doesn't believe, he's not sure if they really followed his advice.
Okay.
So their 7 days have run out for them to get back with me.
Understood.
So I will be following up.
Okay, well, keep me posted. Okay.
Yeah, they need to have that open sooner but later. And last but not least, on the Jesse Jackson thing, there's going to be a special city council meeting at 12:30 Wednesday, and they're having some kind of ordinance. I think it's called the
should be called the Jesse Jackson Senior Ordinance. Yes,
Fair Access to Democracy Ordinance.
Okay.
And that's supposed to prevent, we'll see how that works, but that's supposed to prevent ICE and other immigration and law enforcement from going into the polls and intimidating judges as well as election judges as well as voters.
Okay, bro. Well, I want to thank you, Cat Daddy. Appreciate that call in this morning. So look here now. I want to get deeper into this. I'll take some more calls in a second, okay? I want you to make sure you're in the mic, okay? Baby girl. So this is the thing here. When it comes down to it, now what does your organization really set out to do? What would you like to do? I mean, what are you doing with your organization?
So ARG is a non-for-profit organization to prevent the spread of HIV, AIDS, STDs, and STIs.
Right.
For youth 16 to 24.
Good. That's
I
what I'm
won't
talking
turn
about.
anyone away, but I actually want to prevent it before it gets to HIV.
Mm-hmm.
And then the LGBTQIA youths, they're not forgotten, but it's just not a lot of programs for them, a lot of walk-in places for them, because people still kind of frown on it, but because of my son being so open with us, and when he first made the decision that this was his lifestyle,
for sure,
we sat at the table and me and my
Much
children
respect.
spoke, and we're very close. So unlike some other teenagers that I've experienced, they don't have the support system like my son. And I want to give them that support system. So right now I'm going to be offering testing, support services, walk-in place, a hub where they can come in and feel comfortable, be off the streets. They'll be able to do different type of things, like they'll get workforce information.
So what are some of the tips you would give young people to avoid, contracting HIV virus? What are some of the tips that you can put out there in the universe?
Prevent.
Yeah, prevent.
Protect and prep.
Okay, prevent, I got that one. Protect, how can you prep?
PrEP it's a pill they can take. It's called PrEP. PrEP is a
wait a minute, you can take a pill
to prevent
from
catching HIV.
I didn't know that. So everybody listen, you can take a pill right before you may get sexually involved, right?
Right.
That can prevent you from contracting HIV virus.
Yeah, it's pre-exposure prophylactics.
Okay.
And what PrEP does is it works by placing the antiretroviral medication in the bloodstream. It puts it in the bloodstream to prevent you from catching the HIV virus, which HIV stands for it gives you it attacks your immune system. So it's like human immunodeficiency.
Got it.
So it goes, it's a virus that attacks the blood as well.
I'm familiar.
So what PrEP does, it's like a beta blocker. So it'll go into the bloodstream to prevent you from catching HIV. And so my motto for ARG is prevent, protect, and prep.
Right.
So through prevention, I want to educate them.
For sure.
And through protection, you want to use the proper protections when you're having sex, which a lot of people don't use, as well as my son, as well as myself. A lot of times everybody is subject to not protecting themselves.
Well, let me play the devil's advocate with you for a minute now. I'm glad we talking about protection, because this is a serious topic. I understand.
It is.
It's good, like we having a good time here. So now, what is this? I'm not gonna say it's a myth. Some people say the rubber could break.
It has.
It has. You say it has.
It has.
So the rubber can break, and sometimes the rubber can, fall off.
It can.
Right?
It can.
So when we talking about protect, prevent, and prep, right?
Exactly.
So you protect. Define protect for me when it comes. Okay, let me stop you before you do that. Let's just paint a picture right now. The heat of the moment.
Okay.
We talking about the heat of the moment.
The heat of the moment.
You just met the woman. She just met you, and y'all kissing, y'all locked in, and everything about to get it on, right?
Right.
You listen to whatever you're listening to, right? In today's world, you know what I mean? Like, I just go back to Johnny Gill. My, you sure look good tonight, right? So y'all feeling it, right? She done put on her red dress.
Right.
She done slipped on her high heels and some sweet perfume. Sure smelling good on her, right? So now all of a sudden y'all locked in. Y'all about to get it on. You think a guy or a woman? Okay, I'll just ask you from your lady's perspective. But do you think a guy gonna say, you know what? I forgot to bring my rubber. What is the lady gonna say?
Just
Then the heat of
pull
the
one
moment.
out of her purse or go in the drawer.
All right. But let's say she doesn't have one in her purse. She doesn't have one in her drawer, right?
They gonna have sex.
They're gonna
the
have
reality
sex.
is
That's
they
what I'm
gonna
talking
have
about.
sex.
Right?
Right.
And so when we talking about prevent, it's just tough. I just wish people would keep condoms with them in their pocket, right?
A lot of people do.
But then you got the other pros and cons of condom uses, right? You got some people, they'll tell you in a minute, look here, baby, I want to get the real thing. The condom blocking my real motion.
But
what do you say
but
about guys like that? What do you say to guys like that?
Then a woman can wear a female condom.
Got you. So these are some good tips. I'm just talking about tips right now.
A woman can put on a female condom.
Yeah. See, I'm learning some stuff myself today. I must admit, because if you want to be, because see, there was a time some years ago.
I should have brought some stuff with me.
Yeah, some visuals, right?
Yeah.
But there was a time some years ago, people used to get a shot for gonorrhea or syphilis, right?
Yeah, Little Red Schoolhouse over there on 26th Street.
Yeah, people get them shots.
Well, today they still can.
But it's different now, though. See, I noticed that there was some high cases of gonorrhea going on as well. And syphilis, there's a resurgence of gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea, syphilis, and syphilis stays in the bloodstream as well.
Yeah.
Once you get diagnosed for syphilis,
So wait a minute. Once you diagnosed with syphilis, let's be clear.
You will forever.
I thought they would give you a shot and it gets rid of syphilis.
No, it does not get rid of syphilis. Syphilis attacks the blood as well.
So it stays in the
once
system.
you get diagnosed for syphilis, syphilis is in stages, and then they give you a shot. You know, it's a medicine. You get certain injections, a set depending on the levels of your infection.
Wow.
But syphilis is in the bloodstream, and you will forever test positive for syphilis if you contract syphilis. Your numbers will just go to 0 or below, but you will always test positive. All right.
So now let me say this. Now, matter of fact, let me get Kay on the line while we're talking about it. Then we get some other callers. Good morning, Kay.
Good morning. Good morning. Great topic. I'm in healthcare. I'm glad you changed the word rubber to condom because we got to use the right words. Condom.
Well, you know, hey, go ahead, Kay. I agree with you, ladies. Just say it right. Condoms.
Yes,
ma'am.
Well, I wanted to. I'll come back to the healthcare part, but I just wanted to thank the Leak family. They did a wonderful job with for the 2 weeks, for 2.5 weeks. With Jesse Jackson.
Yes, they did.
I attended one of the viewings, and it was very good. They were very professional. And then I know that the hearse that they had, they bought it new so that he'd be the first body to be in that hearse. So when they traveled to Tennessee and South Carolina, they had processionals where people could, be on the road and saying bye to him. And then they went to D.C. and then they came back. So I just want to thank them.
We salute Jesse Jackson Senior all the way. Yep.
Yes. Because I think is it 3rd or 4th generation Leak?
For sure. You already know it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I thank them for doing a wonderful job. And I just want to tell people that, I think at the funeral, people were talking about who's the next leader. We all are the next leader. So we all have to step up because one person can't do it. We all have to step up. And then about the AIDS, did you say that South Shore has the most cases?
Michelle saying South Shore has more cases right now.
Inglewood has always been number one, but right now, based on the CDC 2024 statistics, South Shore is kind of up there. But Inglewood has been holding down number one for the longest.
Is there a clinic or anything in South Shore? Because I live
It is not. It is not.
There's going to be a facility at 79th and Ridgeland that's with the LGBT group, and hopefully that'll get something, because if we have cases, we need to have facilities where people can go to get these drugs that you're talking about. So I'm active in my community, and I'll definitely look into that.
Well,
one of the prevention. Go ahead.
No, I didn't want to cut you off. Howard Brown, it used to be the U.S. Health Department, but now they're on Howard Brown. All of Howard Brown centers are walk-in centers.
Oh, really?
They have one on 55th and Lakeshore Drive, and they have one in Inglewood.
But if you contract,
they have one up north.
But if you contract the HIV virus, what can you do when you go into a walk-in center? What could they do for you? I'm just playing the devil's advocate.
They test you and they can give you Biktarvy, which is the medicine to prevent.
Biktarvy? No, I'm saying if you contract the virus, though.
My son contracted the virus in 2010. He's still with us right now.
That's right. That's
because of Biktarvy.
Okay.
Right.
So let us do this here. Hang in there with me, Kate. Let me read some stats. See, based on 2024 and 2025 data from Chicago Department of Public Health, the neighborhoods with the highest burden of HIV/AIDS are largely concentrated on the south and west sides of Chicago. Okay. Now, highest diagnosed rates. We got Douglas, the community of Douglas, 68.9 per 100,000 people. East Garfield Park, 65.1 per 100,000 people. And Inglewood is 61.7 per 100,000 people. Okay. Now, the highest number of new diagnoses, the near west side, Okay, and then you got the numbers there: 37, Lawndale 34, and Austin about 31. Highest prevalence historical hotspots: Uptown, Edgewater, and Rogers Park. Okay, all right. So that's what you got going on far as some of the numbers right now. Okay.
Yeah.
So now
But
you
I
in the
wanted
health.
to also,
Yeah, go ahead, Kay.
well, I just also wanted to commend her for starting her non-for-profit. But could we teach abstinence? Abstinence is what God called for, because sex is not supposed to be for everybody. Sex is only supposed to be for those in marriage. So could we start? We don't have to teach the adults, but can we start with the children with abstinence? Because if people are abstinent, that will cut down on teenage pregnancy, STDs, and the emotional toil that comes with having sex.
Well,
We got to
Michelle
teach
wants to
abstinence.
respond to you, Kay, on that.
Okay, can
Okay,
I ask you a
here-
question? I really don't want you to get offended by this.
No.
No, we just talking.
No. And I'm saying, I'm okay. You're saying abstinence, and I respect that, and I agree with that. But the reality is, because of the drugs and all these, the weed, the marijuana, that's a stimulant. These kids ain't finna be abstinent. So my whole thing is prevention. They're not gonna be abstinent. They smoking weed, and not to judge any children. Don't take this in offense, kids. But you guys just got a little harder than we had growing up. But they're not gonna. We teach abstinence, and I do teach it in my program. But it's
great.
Yes, ma'am, I do. Because go ahead.
Yeah, and I was seeing if I had it, but I recently let a young lady that wrote a book that she's 40 and she hasn't had sex in her life, and she has written a book on that. So we can, with God's help, we can come back and teach abstinence. I know what you're saying about the drugs. I have a son that's 25. He's abstinent. They have people that are actually doing it, but it's not popular. So I'm just saying,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
So you love it, in regards.
I mean,
to
that's
being
beautiful to
abstinent.
hear
Right.
that her son is
That's
25
good. That's
and
solid.
abstinent.
Yeah. All right,
That's a
Kay.
very rare. That's a beautiful
So,
thing.
Kay, before you get out here, and I'll ask you this question as well. What about herpes? Now, a lot of times they say there's a lot of cases of herpes as well, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people end up with herpes virus.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's cold sores. It's funny you said that, because I just experienced somebody that had a cold sore, said it was a cold sore or
Right. So
wiping
we
their
just need to
nose.
kind of like dispel some of the myths out here, Kay. So, Kay, you work in the health industry, right?
Yes.
So is a cold sore considered herpes?
No.
I say
no, because I have
right.
a high school friend that always had cold sores, and it wasn't herpes. But I'll definitely send you the information on the book, Brother Tio, of the lady that wrote about her experience of being 40 and having no sex and how people can do it. So we just have to share these positive stories that people will see, because sex is a very, very powerful thing. And then you have the emotional soul ties that you're making when you're having sex with people.
Yeah.
And then all the other stuff that goes with it. Yeah. So I'm not
Lord.
All right.
children to start teaching abstinence. And thank you for your organization.
Thank you, Kay.
Thank you. Now,
Appreciate it,
herpes
Kay.
is in two forms. You do know that, right? You don't just
I
get
just wanna
herpes
I
in your
know
lips.
that, but I just want to educate the people.
You
So
can
you say
get
herpes,
gentle herpes.
You can get genital herpes.
Yes.
And you can get herpes on your
And
lips.
you can get oral herpes. That's called oral herpes.
Okay.
And you can get genital
Well,
herpes.
this is scaring me today. I mean, real talk. Maybe not want to. I surrender. I might become a priest. It's like about that time for the former
strap
player.
up.
Now, it might
Strap
be time
up.
for the former
Strap
player to
up.
become a priest.
Strap up, or
I said
just
former player.
strap up, or what Miss K said, practice abstinence, or
abstinence.
just get with one partner.
Well, this is the thing about it. I'll challenge you all on abstinence, right? Don't get me wrong. I would love to see people practice abstinence. Don't get me wrong, right? Now that's a whole nother topic we might take on one day.
Yeah,
because I know you got a lot of
that.
single people that say they're doing just fine, they're doing okay, it's no problem. But I be thinking in the back of my mind, do you believe people are really happy and they single and they abstinent?
Hey, I'm abstinent right now. I've just come out of a breakup.
Understood.
And I have been
abstinent since then.
Abstinent.
Yeah, I got you. We don't get too deep, but I got you. I respect.
I've been practicing abstinence.
Are you happy?
I'm happy. Actually, I replaced my relationship with myself, not with another individual.
That's right.
Because for real, I love him still.
Okay, gotcha.
But the thing is, I lost a lot of my fire, which he was attracted to.
Yes, indeed.
I got consumed in a relationship.
Yes.
But that's another whole topic. But I'm working on me now, and I'm
Yeah.
excited
Well, let me say this to y'all, all due
for
respect.
start my business back up.
All due respect. See, now you just said something that was special. You say you're not with your significant other, but you still
I
love
don't have
them.
a significant
I'm talking about
other.
the one you was with.
Right.
That you. How long you been? If you don't,
We were together close to 4 years.
So you said that you still love them, though.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. So that'd make it hard for another man to get in. Because if your mind is on, I'm just saying the devil's advocate this morning. So I wanted to make you smile a little bit.
No. I didn't say I'm in love,
but you still love him.
I still love him.
No, that's cool. That's respect. That's respect. We're not 4 years. You're gonna love the person.
Yeah.
A lot of times people think they just get over it. It's not that easy.
No, I'm not gonna lie like
it's not
that.
that
I'm
easy,
not gonna
right?
tell that
You're gonna be
lie.
honest.
He's an amazing guy. I'm not gonna
no
tell that
doubt,
lie.
no
I'm not
doubt.
gonna tell that lie.
Much respect.
We just,
just couldn't get it together at that time.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Well, Lattimore.
But I replaced it.
You replaced it
with dating myself, hanging out with myself,
Right on.
and
I love
following
it.
my
I love
dreams. Like I just did Speakpreneur yesterday, and
Yes.
they told me I did an amazing job, and I
Good.
got invited to travel with them and speak around the
I
world.
love it. But Lattimore had this song, Let's Straighten It Out. Maybe y'all need to straighten out.
Nah, we passed it.
Maybe y'all need to straighten it out. He say, sit yourself down,
Girl,
girl,
and talk to me.
Tell
Hey,
me what's
tell
on
me
your
what's on your
mind,
mind.
girl. If you don't want to be bothered, baby, just say the word. Let's straighten it out. I'm just messing around. That's all we got to do. Now, Lattimore also said, it doesn't matter if you're single, shacking, or divorced, or married. Everybody got something they got to straighten out. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
That's right. But I tell you this much, nobody wants to deal with drama in their relationship all the time.
Yeah.
If it's too much drama, you got to make that move. Let's get back on subject, though, before we have to straighten this out the rest of the show. Let's get Maria. Good morning to you, Maria.
Good morning.
How you feel?
I'm doing great. How you?
I'm hanging in there, doing the best I can, Maria.
I really appreciate you guys' show and all the efforts that everybody's doing out there to try to help prevent. We got to start with the babies.
Yes.
We got to start from day one. We teach them, let them do all this internet stuff. They see so much stuff themselves. 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds, they can run the computer better than some of these 50-year-olds or 20-year-old people. And then the talks, the grown-up talks that we share in front of these little ones.
Yes,
that have to stop too. They have, the fight and all that stuff. And touching it. It's so nasty out there. So, I mean, it's just people sneeze. They do all kind of stuff. I know there's some things you can't just catch up by somebody sneeze. You still got COVID out there and all this other crap.
That's right.
But yeah, we do have to start practicing more safe sex. And then if we don't have a bowl at the door, the rubbers actually part of the grocery market thing.
Condoms.
Because you don't know what your children are doing once they leave the house. The girls are running away for 6-7 hours and coming back. They doing, I call it pre-runaways, okay? And so when they get out there, they'll these emotions. You have to teach them about what they feeling when somebody touch you, when you think you like this little boy, these type of things like that. Then these children are also LGBTQ as well, but they hide it from their parents.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of education has to be talked about that. While we're talking about other things that really don't affect us, we need to be really talking about this health thing, this life that you want to live.
Well, Maria, I just looked at some other numbers here. Chlamydia is number one, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
And chlamydia is number one. And that's what, like, I respect what she said. The reason in my program, when I was growing up in the projects, right, in the Dearborn homes,
got it.
We had all of these programs. They literally used to come out into the communities and teach us about the anatomy.
Okay.
In my program, I start off with the anatomy.
Understood.
Because in order to prevent and protect, you have to know the body. And a lot of places, schools, they don't even teach anatomy no more. You don't even hear about it. So a lot of that's why chlamydia is number one, because a lot of people don't know chlamydia will attack the body and you'll have a scent. It's a bacterial.
Understood.
And that is one of the number one infections in the city of Chicago right now. In Chicago and surrounding metropolitan.
Number two is gonorrhea.
Number two is gonorrhea.
Okay. All right. That's a little too tough for me. Like I said, I'm getting scared, Maria. Go ahead, Maria.
Right, and then the kids come home. They say they got a sore throat. That might be early signs of HIV as well.
A sore throat?
Yeah, it's early signs of HIV.
Are you serious?
Because it
it
attacks the lymph nodes.
Weed may affect your nails and all kinds of stuff.
It
Gotta
attacks
watch
the.
what they looking at. Then they see red spots on their bodies and little things like
That's
that.
when it's
That's the
40%. That
40%.
you're 40% into HIV.
Okay,
You can't. It
40%.
does not. You don't have like symptoms right off
I
bat.
understand.
And it's like a regular common cold, like she said. I
A
agree.
regular common
It's
cold.
like a regular common cold.
And then, so the main thing to do is get a blood test.
You get tested.
Get tested.
regularly.
That's it. That's it.
Mhm,
So with now,
mhm.
Maria, before you get out of here, I'll ask you also, Michelle, right? This is what I want to ask you all. So would it be appropriate if you meet somebody and you want to get sexually involved with them that you both take a blood test and produce the
Hell
results
yeah.
to one another?
That's one of my second dates.
Okay.
If I realize, if I don't know your background, all that, even if I know your background, it's just still.
Right.
But when I was in Florida before I married my husband, and
Yeah.
the reason he said he wanted to marry me because our second date, I said, I think that
Right.
we might pursue this. So I would like us to go to the
Take a
clinic.
blood test. Right.
No,
That's
not
good.
a blood test.
What kind of test?
Not a blood test, Tio. You take a full panel.
That's what I'm talking about. Right. Full
Yeah.
for everything.
It's blood, urine,
Right. Everything.
swabs.
Right.
It's
right.
not just blood.
It's not just blood.
It's not just
Okay.
blood.
I just want to make sure.
Right.
So
You
people
take a
need to
throat
hear that. People
swab,
need to hear that.
You just go and you get a full panel done.
Do you agree with that, Maria?
Absolutely. Now I want to go a little bit further than that because back in the
Okay.
day when we were getting married, we had to do a full test of just because. I think it should be mandatory because people are getting into these little 6-month marriages and a year marriages, because you may take the test, everything take out good, but then 2 weeks later, that's when it comes in. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know when it's going to hit. So I think that before you get married, it should be mandatory that we go and take a test, not just for HIV, but for
like
all
you
the
said,
other
full panel.
diseases that people get, and then it may affect your baby. Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, like sickle cell.
Syphilis
If you
could
have,
cause
if you have
blindness
sickle cell
to
and
a
they
child,
have
to
sickle
a
cell, your
unborn
baby's
child.
full blown.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Maria,
I
thank
agree.
you for your call, Maria.
Oh, thank you guys for being so educational about all this good
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
And,
I'm trying to mix
we
it
just
in
gotta
there a
keep
little bit.
reading.
Okay, then. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Okay, goodbye for now.
Andre, good morning to you, bro.
Hey, good morning to you, Brother Tio, and good morning to the young lady that's on the show. So let me
Good
start
morning.
off with
Thank
saying,
you.
thank you for coming on, man. I raised my 2 grown daughters and my grown son right here in Chicago.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've learned is to never say what your kids will or won't do, because you could get proven wrong every single time.
Facts.
Then when the lady called and talking about her son's abstinence, look, today's world, you 25 years old, I think the lady might be stretching the truth when she talking about her son's absences. How does she know that? See, my thing is this. I was raised up in the church, T.O. I was taught the golden rule, no sex before marriage, right? But I'm the youngest of 9 kids raised in Chicago, but we didn't listen to that. We were hard-headed. So this is what my message is to the young kids today. Since they're not listening to that no sex before marriage, I teach them no kids before marriage. That's detrimental. My message is no kids before marriage. And like the lady said, your guest say, if you out here promiscuous, then you make sure you get tested and keep your papers with you. And if you talking about having unprotected sex, ask that person to show you their papers. That's how you do that. Otherwise, you're going to have to use some protection here, because you can't do that. And the jails, man, this has bothered me for the longest time, man, how these dudes is up in jail. How's the government letting these dudes have sex with each other in jail and they come home and give it to their girlfriends and their wives? That's been a problem
sad.
for the
Yeah,
longest.
That's really sad, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a problem. It's a movie out about that called Copacetic, too, a black movie where that actually happens, you know, see? So, you look, man, you know, I know Darv and them, they want to call and preach, but by now we all grown and we know what the words say. The thing is people going to listen to the word. We didn't listen, T.O. We was taught the golden rule. We was taught right for wrong, and we did not listen. We got out there in the world and whatnot and started hanging with people, and we became promiscuous. I thank God that I never was victimized by these age and stuff like that.
Let me
But
say
it's
this,
because
Andre, and I want to ask Michelle this. I think sex sometimes is overrated. I don't know how everybody feel about that. Don't get me wrong, sex is good. I want to be clear. But I think it's overrated to a degree sometimes, Andre, because so much emphasis has been placed on sex. Now, how important is sex, Michelle, in a relationship? And I don't want to put you on the spot, but just you can be honest.
All right,
with
it
me.
ain't putting me on the spot. I can have sex by myself.
But I'm saying
I don't just have
I got
sex.
you. No, okay.
See, I gotta have some feelings.
That's what I'm talking
and so
about.
I
Right.
like to have intimacies.
Okay.
Sex is random.
Gotcha.
Sex is like a workout.
No,
a
correct
man
me,
can have
correct me,
sex.
yeah.
like it's going to the gym and have no
Yeah.
and detach themselves.
That's right. That's
I
right.
can't do that.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know how to just have random sex.
Exactly.
So if I'm intimate with you, it's because we have some sort of mental and emotional connection.
I got you.
Sex, I can. I'm just putting it out there. I can sex myself.
No, so what happened is, so maybe I put it out there the wrong context, because I just said, I'll say it again though, because I think what I see in the media sometimes, and 1 minute Andre hanging there with me, what I see in the public's eye is the emphasis just on sex, not making love, just sex. The nice looking women shaking their behinds and all that stuff, and it lures people. It lures people to think about just sex. One night stands and all that stuff.
Just being intimate.
You know what I mean, Andre?
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. But and first of all, sex is not a dirty thing. If the sex was a dirty thing, then you tell me why did God create horses have sex, dogs have sex with each other, cats have sex. That's how we reproduce. Basically fish have a form of sex. So sex is not a bad thing. It's just the abuse of it that people use to abuse it. Now, God made it so it do feel good. But are you going to abuse it or not? That's the thing here. See, some people want to sow their wild oats. And if you're out there sowing your wild oats, then you need that type of guidance, and you need your papers with you. Because as a man, and Tio, you know this, as a man, when we growing up, man, we don't even be thinking about sex, and we'll get an erection, man. When we're not even thinking about no woman or nothing else. It just happens naturally. So then when you give them an education, you know what to do with it and talk to your kids. But don't ever say what your children will or won't do.
This is a real.
But I agree with him that a lot of people abuse sex.
Right, no doubt.
Like you said, it's overrated.
It's overrated. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sex sells.
Put
it like that. Sex been selling since I was born. Sex sells. The media, the attire, the dress, men buying sex, sex in the strip clubs. Sex sells. But that's the bottom line. That's the number one selling in America. Sex.
It's a form. It's a form of intimacy, and it brings people closer together.
Yeah.
But the dark side of it is HIV, AIDS,
STD,
syphilis, gonorrhea, and all that's the dark side of it, Andre.
Side, yeah.
You abuse it. You abuse it.
No, you don't even have to abuse it.
Right.
It's just not being protected.
Understood.
And it has nothing to do with abuse.
Right.
Because like you just said, the man that was had HIV and infecting other people because he was angry.
Yeah.
There's women that's done that too. So it's just being negligent.
Yeah, just negligence and don't care, not caring,
not being protected.
All right, brother Andre, but
it's unfortunate.
I want to thank you for your call, brother Andre.
Yeah, young lady, you keep up the good work there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, love.
Yeah, maybe you might get some ATM machines put around. The ATM stand for at that moment. You get the machine put around with condoms.
Condoms, yeah.
Oh yeah, they could walk in and they'll be able. There's a lot of places you could just walk in and get condoms.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some places is closed at night. I'm talking about like putting on the street the vending machines with condoms in it.
I love it. I love it.
Vending machines.
That's what I'm talking about. So that people can have 24-hour access to them condoms when they need them. I'm beyond that. That don't apply to me. I'm beyond that stuff. So
thank you, bro.
My children are grown and stuff now. Okay.
All right, Andre. Good information, bro. So let me say this. I'll get another call on in a second here. Now, I want to just put this out there in the most serious way, because we all been around a little bit here in life, right? So when the guys, like say, the heat of the moment, right? And the guys tell you straight up as I look you right in your face, look here, baby, I can control what I do, right? Just let me get that opportunity to get with you, baby. You feel me, I'm feeling you. We here together, let's get down, right? I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna go all the way. I'm just gonna take care of the business. You got to trust me. Do I look like I have anything?
Looks is deceiving. Shit.
You know what I mean?
Looks is deceiving,
but some guys can put the pressure on.
Now,
guys will put the pressure on you though. Right?
I don't care.
Okay, that's good to know that you got that.
Because at the end of the day,
right.
At the end of the day,
right,
it ain't like sex today.
Right.
It's not how it was when I was growing up.
Understood.
See, when I was growing up, you had sex, you get an infection, you go to the red schoolhouse and get a shot. Sex right now is a death sentence. Yeah.
Well, you know what?
If you're unprotected.
What's a real serious subject? This comedian out of Detroit named Tony Brown said, people go to the doctor, not a doctor be saying, like, who sent you here? I don't even deal with that kind of stuff. He says, as a matter of fact, take the chair out of here with you,
Well, the way I tell my babies, I tell them sex today is like playing Russian roulette.
Exactly. That's
you
what I'm
take
talking
one
about.
bullet and put it in that gun, and you keep pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
Eventually, that one bullet gonna come out of there.
Mm.
So you protect yourself, or you deal with a death sentence.
Well, the reason I did a little role play with you is because some women give into that pressure. You see, some women do. So hopefully people that are listening, push condoms, push safe sex, because then you can kind of reduce the levels of infections and stuff. So let me get Darva on the line while she's been waiting for a while. Good morning, Darva.
Oh, I almost fell asleep. God bless all of you.
Wake up, girl. Wake up.
Wake up, Darva. Wake up.
Hey, listen, we're going to wake up. Yes, that's what God is trying to tell us, to wake up.
Amen.
Everybody, everything that has said, I had took my notes to speak on that.
Okay.
With KN, and that's Michelle that's on the line, right?
Yeah, Michelle. Yeah.
The guest. Yeah, and so everything you guys are saying is great, even although I didn't speak and someone mentioned my name, but it's okay because I'm so famous. But anyway,
That's
and
right.
so anyway, everything is great. The best solution that I tell people is this. Sex is for married people. It is. And our sins are finding us out. And I know somebody going to blow to the roof, but a lot of these diseases, especially AIDS, I feel in my spirit that it was created so that we or people can stop having sex and get right. But it didn't matter because they're still doing sex. But I wanted to say this. Can I have your guest, Michelle and Kate, to email me, Tio, or give you my email? You can give it to them.
Your email with the young lady on the boards, Darva, and then we'll make sure she emails you, okay?
Oh, put it on the board. You mean on write it in?
Just stay on the line, and then Shapira, she'll take your email.
Okay, but it's a good show, and I want to say this. I want to get involved because I work with the young people too, and so that'd be a good thing. Yes, I'll stay on the board. God bless.
And I'm Kimberly.
Right, Kimberly. All right, Darva. So good information here today, I must admit. So how can people reach out to you in regards to what you're doing in this crusade to educate people? When it comes down to HIV and AIDS awareness.
I have a website. This is my website is ARGHIVAIDSawarenessgroup.org.
Cool.
The phone number to my office is 800-545-6469.
Yeah.
You can reach me there, and I will answer all your calls, your questions. And I am opening an office, hopefully the 1st of April.
Cool. I love it.
If not sooner.
If not sooner, because I think you got a lot of information out there. I was not aware that chlamydia was number one and gonorrhea, but I don't think I'll ever catch nothing, because I didn't get scared today. I'm just saying, I'll repeat it again for the record. Y'all didn't spook me with this conversation.
Straight.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Oh my God,
straight.
you remember we used to have the videos in school called Scared Straight?
Scared Straight, yeah, because you cannot play with this thing.
Well, I want to do it. I want to bring back the old way of helping people, like hands on.
Okay.
Because I just want to put the fun back into it. Because the way I grew up, like the neighborhood took care of the kids. We had big mamas and all that stuff.
Different people. Yeah.
My approach is, I understand everybody saying, "Oh, sex." No sex before marriage. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
Right,
that is not gonna happen.
People been getting down since the beginning of time.
Exactly.
Plus, God wouldn't have put that in us if we were not to activate it.
Right. Adam and Eve wasn't married.
Yes, indeed.
They was not married.
Yeah. I agree with that.
It just ain't gonna happen. The reality is, programs like these and Howard Brown and the AIDS Foundation, and
it's a lot of good people doing work.
There's a lot of good people
and
out
then
here
people
doing
can
work.
live, so we can clear up the myth. In other words, before we get out of here, you can live with HIV for a long time.
Exactly.
That's what it says. Like normal people.
HIV is not a death sentence anymore.
Right. Okay.
It is not.
That's good, because now they have pills you can take that they won't even detect it in
you. But if you don't take your medicine, again,
right,
you can either, a lot of people think that HIV and then AIDS, but what happens is the immune system deteriorates. Not only can you catch HIV, but you can catch pneumonia, which will cause death, or you can get Kaposi sarcoma cancer, which is where the cancer affects the skin.
Wow.
That's another higher level of HIV.
Yeah, it's too much,
So,
you know.
yeah,
So
it's a
this is
lot.
good information. I hope everybody that listened today can take a lot of notes because you want to make sure people are safe. You have grandkids, sons and daughters, and just family members in general. I know sometimes people get lonely and they might just. Some people are codependent. Everybody got to have somebody. Some people got to have
I
somebody
was a
all the time.
codependency
So you
to my
admit that as a
parents.
young lady, right?
I was a codependency to my mom.
Okay, good. All right, so we're about to wrap up in a minute. Before we wrap up and put a little something out there, a little Johnny Gill for us before we wrap up, okay? Put on your red dress and slide on your high heels and some of that sweet perfume. It sure smells good on you. Slide on your lipstick and let all your hair down. And baby, when you get through, I just want to look at you. Tonight will be a special night of many more to come. And I'm so proud to, I forgot the rest of what I was going to say.
Well, I thought it was slide on your makeup.
Yeah, I know it is. I got thrown off a little bit. I got thrown off, my people. We're about to get out of here, and I want to thank y'all for listening.
Not only do I offer preventive services,
right,
but I offer food, shelter, furniture, all kinds of
really?
things.
Okay, so we got to wrap up. It's been a good show today. Thank you all. Peace and blessings to you. That was new for